All right, let's hit the field.
It is Thursday, August 21st, and the Yankees were kicking off a 4-game weekend rivalry series with the hated Boston Red Sox. Luis Gil was on the mound, looking to make it 6 wins in a row for the Yankees, and Ben Rice continues to swing a hot bat. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
You watch the game? I mean, didn't it suck? It sucked.
How's it going, everybody? How's it going? I think I know. It's not going well. If you're a Yankees fan, tough loss in Game 1 of the series, and the win streak has been snapped. The Red Sox take first blood in a crucial 4-game set. And really, this was just a dismal game. I mean, it was bad. It was ugly. The Yankees made 4 errors in this game. They made 3 errors in the second inning. And then you had pitchers who couldn't throw strikes. Luis Gil walked 5 hitters. Doval walked a hitter. Weaver walked 2. And Tim Hill walked 1. So if you're keeping track, that's 9 walks from Yankees pitchers and just 5 strikeouts. So they had 9 walks and 5 strikeouts. Not a good way to win a game. The Boston Red Sox out-hit the Yankees tonight, 10-8. They just basically outplayed the Yankees. You know, they strung hits together. They got hits in big spots. And once again, the Yankees prove that they struggle against good teams. I understand that, they just won 5 in a row. But at some point, you got to beat quality baseball teams. That's what the Red Sox are, and that's what the Yankees have trouble doing. And it's not going to get any easier this weekend. We got some comments. People have lost faith in Fried, who's pitching tomorrow. I think he's due for a good one. One of a kind says, 9 walks, 4 errors. You deserve to lose. Team is cheeks every time against big teams. Appreciate the chat. You're not wrong. And by the way, I like the term cheeks. That's good.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
So yeah, 3 errors in the second inning. That kind of told you the kind of night that the Yankees were in for. Jazz Chisholm threw away a double play ball. I mean, how many times is this guy going to do that? I mean, he almost threw that ball to Hoboken. Ben Rice threw one into center field, allowed a run to score. Luis Gil was able to get out of further damage. He had a pickoff of a runner on third base, caught him napping. But just an ugly, ugly inning. And the Red Sox did only get 1 run in that inning, so it could have been worse. Yankees immediately got the run back. Ben Rice smoked his 20th home run of the season, 419 feet, 108 miles an hour off the bat. I think he's going to be a 40 home run guy one of the next few years. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up because he's not a good catcher. Like, you see him as a catcher. I don't think he's good behind the plate, but he can hit, and he hits well despite catching. You know, he's 2 for 3 tonight. He had a triple, 827 OPS. But as someone else just said, he's cheeks behind the plate. I mean, that's just my opinion. The Yankees offense just didn't do a lot other than that. I mean, you had 2 hits from Chisholm. You had an RBI single. You had 2 hits from Goldschmidt. He had an RBI. But other than that, not a lot of Yankees offense. Judge went 1 for 4. Stanton 0 for 4. Bellinger 1 for 4. Grisham 0 for 5. McMahon 0 for 4, and Volpe continues to slump. He was 0 for 4. We had Camilo Doval in this game. He did not pitch well. Continues to struggle as a Yankee. The walks have been a problem for him. Luke Weaver had a really tough night. And Roman Anthony hit a monster home run to kind of seal the deal for Boston in the top of the 9th. I have a feeling that is not the first time we're going to see him put one in that second deck. Devers may be gone, but I have a feeling Roman Anthony is going to be an enormous pain in the ass for the next decade at least. But the Yankees' relief pitching has not been good. These guys they've picked up, Doval, not been good. Bednar, he's been mostly good, but he blew a save last night. Bird's in the minor leagues. I mean, just got to get better pitching. The Yankees drop a tough one. Raymond says Caballero over Volpe anytime. I think that's the first time that Raymond has ever made a comment without the all caps button on. For that, we're going to give him a round of applause for finding that button. Abe says Roman is the real deal. He looks like he can hit, man. He's got a great swing. He's young. He's going to be a really, really good player. And you know what? It's despite him probably crushing the Yankees, it'll be fun to watch a young guy come up at 21 and have a great career. I mean, it's just, as a baseball fan, you like to see it. DJPX, not a fan of Ryan McMahon, says McMahon sucks. Val and NY said walks killed us. The walks tonight were atrocious. And, you know, tonight was a big game because, you know, you got Brian Bayo tomorrow on the hill for the Red Sox and against Max Fried. Max Fried has not been pitching well, and Bayo has a 3.23 ERA. It's actually lower than Max Fried. You have a feeling he's going to give the Yankees problems. And then on Saturday, you got Garrett Crochet matching up against Will Warren, so the Red Sox probably have the advantage there. Garrett Crochet, 13-5 with a 2.43 ERA on the season. And then on Sunday, you know, where the Yankees could be staring down a sweep, it's Carlos Rodon versus Dustin May on Sunday Night Baseball. And we'll see how Carlos Rodon controls his emotions on a big, you know, Sunday night game. I have a feeling he'll be amped up. But
Pitcher spotlight.
talk about Luis Gil. I thought he was okay tonight. He avoided major damage. He pitched out of some jams when he had to. The stuff looked really good, but 5 walks. I mean, we said that with Carlos Rodon. You can't say you had a good night. I don't care if it's 5 innings and 1 run, which equates to a 1.80 ERA. When you have 5 walks and you make an error, gotta pitch better than that in a big game like this. 93 pitches, only 52 strikes. Now, he did lower his ERA down to 4.26, but because of the base runners, he had 9 base runners. His whip went up from 1.64 to 1.68. That's not good. That's not a good whip. 25 pitches in the first inning. Just pulling a lot of pitches out of the zone, overthrowing a little bit, maybe a little bit amped up. I mean, he was throwing hard. Slider was good. But this kid really needs to learn to command the baseball. You've got to pitch better than this, especially in big games against the Red Sox. Ben Rice deserves an honorable mention. 20 home runs. You know, this just goes to show you that prospect rankings, never a sure thing, because he was not the Yankees' top prospect. I mean, he was on some prospect lists, but he was never like a top guy. You know, there were other guys ranked higher than him, and he's emerging as potentially the best hitter, especially by the metrics. Now, if you had gone in a time machine and showed this to the scouts and said, hey, look, this is going to be Ben Rice in 2025. Look at these metrics. You'd say this guy is going to be one of the best players in baseball. I mean, look at the numbers. 98th percentile in xWOBA. Expected batting average is 292. His average exit velocity is in the 97th percentile. It's 93.4 miles an hour. Hard hit percentage in the 98th percentile. Bat speed in the top quarter of the league. Squared up percentage is elite 86th percentile. Chase rate, 90th percentile. Walk percentage, 73rd percentile. I mean, this guy is shaping up to be an elite hitter. And the launch angle sweet spot. This is something that he's really improved on in the last month or so. You remember earlier on this year when he was really, really unlucky, this was hanging down there around 50%. And I remember saying, now when he gets this up to around 70, 80%, or 70th to 80th percentile, you'll see his numbers improve. And they have, because the ball, instead of getting caught or being hit hard right at somebody, they're starting to go in the seats. And that's why he's got 20 home runs now. Average is up to 241, 335 on base percentage, 817 OPS. One of the few Yankees who has not been, as they say, cheeks. And I have a cat that's very upset about this game tonight, and she's screaming at me off camera. Hopefully you can't hear it. But we're going to go to our weekend picks. And a reminder that if you want to play along with me, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code FOUL. That is code FOUL for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. So, Aaron Judge, I know he didn't do much tonight. I think he's going to have a good weekend. I'm predicting 2 home runs over the next 3 games. I think that, if you believe in due, he's a guy who's due. He's due for a streak, right? He's not just due for a home run. He's due for a bunch of home runs, and I think he's going to get a couple of them this weekend. He already tagged Garrett Crochet for 1. I think Crochet is going to challenge him, and I think Judge is going to get him again, and I think he'll get somebody from the Red Sox bullpen over the next few days. Maybe he'll get Brian Bayo tomorrow, but we'll see. But 2 home runs this weekend for sure. Anthony Volpe, I'm predicting him for a home run, even though he had a tough night and has been slumping. Reason I'm predicting him is because he'll go like 1 for 20, 1 for 25, and then he'll break out of it with a home run. That's what he does. So I'm predicting Volpe. I'm picking him as a home run pick. I think Max Fried. I do believe in due. I think Max Fried is going to get his 14th win of the season. Look, I know he's been pitching like just pure do lately. I think he is going to break through tomorrow. And then you got Will Warren, who is, if anything, a good strikeout pitcher. 8 strikeouts for Will Warren in his start coming up. Dante predicting 2 homers for Stanton. Fishbag says he'll hit a home run in garbage time. I'm guessing he's meaning Volpe there. Stillness says Judge has to step up. We can't win if he's sleeping. Yeah, I agree with you there. And then Brian Bashman with the Super Chat says, our first 2 draft picks this year were shortstop. What does that tell you? It tells me that the Yankees draft athletes. They almost always pick shortstops. It doesn't mean that they're lining these guys up to be a shortstop. They tend to pick the top athlete available, right? I mean, Trey Sweeney was a shortstop, right? They drafted him and then they traded him. They do that. Oswald Peraza was a shortstop. Oswaldo Cabrera was a shortstop for a while. They've had a lot of shortstops over the years, and they deal these guys. Or, 1 or 2 of them will break through. It doesn't tell me anything that they drafted shortstops. Although that doesn't mean that they're not, committed to, Lombard or Volpe or whatever their plan is. Dell says, unserious team until they can beat these clowns. 100%. Let's do the boilerplate for DraftKings, and then we'll be back to wrap it up.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Eric Holm says all the shortstops you named are garbage. That's not the point, dummy. The point is that they keep drafting shortstops. This cat pissing me off. The commenter had said, that what does that tell you that the Yankees drafted 2 shortstops? Doesn't tell me anything, because they draft shortstops because typically the best athlete on the team plays shortstop, and the Yankees like to draft athletes. That's what I'm getting to. So, I know that some of these guys didn't work out. But these are, this was the strategy in the minor leagues. Get athletes. So, anyway. Dudley says, Sox manager outmanaged the Yankees manager. You're not wrong. That happens often. Use says, homers can't offset poor defense in every game. It's either homers or bursts. The Yankees need a major leadership overhaul to rebuild and revamp as a well-balanced team that can hit and put the ball in play. I agree with that 100%. I've been saying for a while they need to reevaluate the organizational approach. But, I wouldn't count on that. Maybe after Cashman resigns in a couple of years. We got a couple of voicemails here.
Dumbest coach. Aaron Boone is like one of the dumbest coach. Paul Goldsmith, who hits well against lefties and sucks against righties, keeps playing him against righties. And Ben Rice sucks as a catcher. And Austin Wilson is a way defensive catcher better than Rice. No offense to a great hitter, but sucks in the middle to Roman Anthony. Yeah.
First of all,
And for tomorrow, hopefully Max Fried pitch as well.
in baseball, we call it a manager, not a coach. So I just want to stop you there. But, you know, I thought it was interesting that they went with Goldschmidt at first base and Rice at catcher because Wells hit 2 home runs yesterday. But I'm not going to blame that decision. I mean, Goldschmidt had 2 hits, drove in a run. Rice hit a home run. I mean, those are 2 of the guys that produced. Can't blame Boone for that one. The pitching is the problem. The pitching continues to suck. Call about our game plan.
Cheers here, Derek. Love the show. Man, you sure would love to see the Yankees put a game plan together like the Red Sox seem to do against us every single game. Hey, you want to get on base? Just don't swing. They're going to walk us. Hey, you want to get on base? Hit the ball on the ground. They're going to commit errors. They're going to put us on base every single frickin' time. I mean, I know it's a broken record, Derek, but I am so sick of watching this team fall apart in big games, in rivalry games, every single time.
100% agree. I 100% agree. It's tough to watch them play in big spots because they fall apart defensively. The fundamentals leave them. They'll make stupid base running mistakes, you know, and they fail to execute the little things. Paris Scrub says, give bad teams extra outs and you can get away with it. Give good teams like the Red Sox extra outs. And tonight is what happened. 100% agree. Thanks for the super chat. Another call.
Sorry, this is Raekwon again, Derek. I got a question. Would you have pitch hit for Jazz in that at bat against Nats? Would you have brought in Rosario to pitch hit for Jazz?
Huh. You know, I like Jazz. I mean, Jazz has the home run ability, right? I mean, he's got some serious pop, and he'll run into him. You know, he hit a home run against the Rays a couple of nights ago. I felt like he was trying to atone for making that error early on tonight, throwing the ball into the camera well. No, I don't think I would have pinch hit for him there, but appreciate the call. Another call.
Hey, Derek, just finished watching the game. For whatever reason, the Yankees, every time this year when they faced good teams, especially the Red Sox and the fucking Toronto Blue Jays, they just forget how to play baseball and just...
Yep, they just forget how to play baseball. And it's been a problem for years. I don't think they prioritize baseball. I think they prioritize nights like you had the last couple of nights where they had, 14 home runs in 2 games. And then tonight, when you're facing a team that's not going to serve up that many meatballs, you've got to play baseball and execute and get runners in, and they're unable to do it. So, you know, it is what it is. Ray Tapia says, Astros and Red Sox been our daddy all season. No diddy. And then Ray Fonseca says, Boone doesn't understand. You got to play to win these games for what they mean rivalry-wise and not treat it like any other game. 100%. Got to go a little bit more high urgency, right? Retro Tony says Jose Caballero should have played in this game. You know, you talk about trade deadline pickups. Jose Caballero is probably the best player they picked up at the deadline. You know, McCann got the most pub, I think. He was the first big move. Doval got a lot of attention because he's the guy who throws 100. But, you know, Caballero, good player. You know, he can do the little things. He can bunt. He can run. He can play a lot of different positions. And, you know, maybe he'll get a start at short in this series. We'll see. But, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a night. Tough night for the Yankees once again. Let's hope they bounce back tomorrow night in Game 2. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Check out NYYDesigns.shop for some great merch. Support our sponsors. It helps keep the show going. And you can find us on all major audio platforms, so be sure to subscribe there too. But most importantly, come back again soon. We'll see you next time.